It's Thursday, January 13th. Coming up live on The View. They're the hottest topics in the headlines. From why one TV network won't air a movie about the Kennedys, to critics saying last night's memorial of the tragedy in Arizona was more like a pep rally. And Joy's Skyping in live from Sin City to tell the co-host how she's preparing to judge the Miss America pageant this weekend. Plus, director Ron Howard's revealing why he removed a gay joke from the trailer of his new comedy, The Dilemma, but kept it in the movie. And if he'll ever get back in front of the camera. Then, Mike the Situation Sorrentino's exposing the hookups, breakups, brawls, and wild new housemate on the brand new season of Jersey Shore. All that, hot topics, and more, coming up live on The View.
Welcome to The View. Good to see everybody. Hey. That's very nice. I like that.
Yes,
very
sexy. Neat kind of. My fiance is coming to visit today.
Don't you love that he's fiance now?
Yeah, I know. I can say it now.
Her fiance is coming, Barbara. Her fiance.
Fiance.
I don't have one of those.
So I'm gonna keep the hair on all night and the outfit and everything.
How can you keep it on all night?
Never mind. But I assume he has seen you without the wigs.
Without my hair?
Yeah.
He has, but everybody told me, no, that's too soon. They said, stop acting like you've been married for 12 years. Keep the hair on. Don't take it off.
When? The wedding night?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Him waking up.
Okay, here he comes, coming over to you. You're right there, getting ready to whip that bad boy off, and it's like, hey!
It's like La Cage aux Folles, which I saw again. And by the way, it's such fun with Kelsey Grammer and
well, you guys, you all look fantastic. I love
you take off the hair, you take off the false eyelashes, right?
Yeah,
take out the butt
And you know what, Sherry? You're as gorgeous as ever when you do.
Thank you,
You
boobies.
really are.
Thank you.
We see it
I think a man would disagree.
No,
if
he
you
would
take all
not,
that
and he
off.
certainly hasn't.
True
Well,
that.
More information that I think we may need.
Yeah, well, we got to that place, and thank God, Barbara, you pulled us back.
Kick it in reverse.
Hey, last night at the University of Arizona, President Obama led a memorial of the tragedy in Tucson, and he had some moving words about the youngest victim, Christina Taylor Greene. Take a look.
I want to live up to her expectations. I want our democracy to be as good as Christina imagined it. I want America to be as good as she imagined it. All of us, we should do everything we can do to make sure this country lives up to our children's expectations.
Oh, you know, I have to say, I watched that last night, and our president did a most outstanding, gave the most heartfelt, appropriate, so needed direction, I think, for us at this time. And I really felt, and side of the aisle aside, that as our president, this was the man that I think we've all been looking for to speak at this time. I was so thankful for him, and I had tears in my eyes when he said that is an absolute perfect metaphor and guidance for us, and I am thankful to President Obama for just that delivery. It was amazing.
You mentioned two sides of the aisle because, you know, there are continuous repercussions. One is a whole debate now on gun control again. And the other is the kind of vituperative action on both sides, all we kept hearing about on both sides of Congress, you know, will they get together? I wonder if this will produce, as you suggest, a different tone. Is it possible that in the political system now, even though you can disagree, it won't have the anger that we saw 2 weeks ago? Maybe.
Well, he did call for civility again, and he said it wasn't the lack of civility that caused this, but it's a wonderful opportunity to now take it there and really improve upon it. And I thought the way he said it was wise and
you know, you hated that a tragedy has to happen to make people look up and go, oh my goodness. But it seems like, you know, this, when you say, gosh, you're trying to find some good out of anything that happens, the fact that everybody is
Is it true that people minded that there was applause?
Yeah, this morning, some critics were questioning whether the tone was appropriate last night because they were saying it felt more to them like a pep rally than a memorial.
Yeah.
I mean,
the ads on Twitter were going nuts. I mean,
well, I just have to say, you know, a memorial service is generally held for someone who is dead. Not everyone that President Obama was talking about last night was dead. Some of the survivors were there. So I don't know why they call it a memorial, because it's not.
But why is someone to tell you how to mourn? Why is someone to tell anyone how to deal with this circumstance? And I thought, I'm on Twitter, it's blowing up last night saying this is a pep rally, not a memorial service. How dare you? I think that this is something that should not be defined by anyone on the outside saying this is how it should be. It was perfectly appropriate.
Also, on the question of applause, you know, there's applause and there's applause. And because of the internet, I think people are much more involved. And we have applause at places where we didn't used to. We have applause at weddings. Don't you go to weddings now where people are applauding the bride and groom? They didn't.
Sure.
People
When the plane lands on time,
people applaud the...
I love that.
Exactly.
I give a standing ovation.
They applaud the Star-Spangled Banner, you know? They applaud sometimes at funerals. I mean, there are some funerals I would like to applaud at.
But, you know, it's also
my point is, it's not... when you applaud, it doesn't mean...
necessarily mean.
Yes, it isn't diminishing.
Consider the setting.
I was going to say, some of the things people were applauding were the heroes.
Yes.
And I think they should have been applauded. You know, people felt, and I guess everyone was giving a sigh when he was saying, listen, can we just try to live up to what this little girl wanted?
And that's what I think they were saying.
I think they were very happy.
We are not going to let this. We're going to honor this little girl when they clapped at her name. We are going to honor her. I think it was such an emotional, visceral response of, you know. We got to let that out.
And also, consider the setting. If you put 14,000 people in a pool and ask them not to swim, that would seem odd. Human nature, being in an auditorium that large, an arena there, it's a loud place. By nature, you're with a bunch of people in a stacked stadium seating. You're going to express yourself in a way that feels appropriate there. It is applause.
That after we're talking about let's come together, we have people twittering and they're angry again. I mean...
Come on. Just always have something to say, Gerald.
It was.
It was a beautiful night, and that's the bottom line.
Right.
You know, Sarah Palin made headlines for breaking her silence about the tragedy, and she's now taking even more heat about one part in particular. Take a look.
Journalists and pundits should not manufacture a blood libel that serves only to incite the very hatred and violence that they purport to condemn.
Now, the term blood libel originated from the false accusation that Jews use the blood of Christian children for religious rites. Okay, and you know how old that is.
But then it went even further to be that...
Yes, but
sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I went even further to lead into the false theory that the Jews killed Christ. That was the way it came down in history.
I think it's interesting, too, because this speech was given and put online prior to our president's. And his tone was absolutely perfect and appropriate and, in fact, was not scolding. Now, she does have reason to be angry, being accused of things that were not directly by evidence connected to her. However, I think her tone is a little more insightful as well. It's you know, she tried to use words that may stir the pot again, whereas his words were those that calm the nation, settle the nation, and I think his tone was more appropriate than Sarah.
It's interesting because Alan Dershowitz, who is a great lawyer and happens to be Jewish, a piece of what he said is there is nothing improper and certainly nothing anti-Semitic in Sarah Palin using the term to characterize what she reasonably believes are false accusations, that her words or images may have caused a mentally disturbed individual to kill and maim.
So it's because she was comparing herself to being Christ,
But what he's saying is that her using that term is not an inappropriate thing.
But it's also something that stirs up emotion, and I think what we're trying to do now is maybe not not do that. The message that I took from our president is, hey, let's take this time and actually reconsider our words. Will they help or hurt? As you would say to a child, do these words build somebody up or do they break them down?
But it's very interesting because President Obama, he wasn't attacked, though, as Sarah Palin was.
Sure, but it's hard sometimes. I just want to go back to what Alan Dershowitz said about it. I think for her now, she is getting more death threats now than she ever did before. You know, you're usually much more pro Sarah Palin, and I don't usually take this stand. But the woman is trying to express her own grief and to say, you know, that there is violence in this country. And I think we should stop taking everybody's line and everybody's word and everybody's thing and trying to make more of it. And in this case, I think to blame her for saying that is, as you suggested with Dershowitz, inappropriate and unnecessary.
And baseless, factually baseless at this point. We don't have evidence to prove it.
Well,
so she has a right to be angry.
There's no winning or losing. The winners and the losers, we spoke about them last night. You know, and so if there's anything to come out of this, you know, maybe we just got to move forward. You know, maybe we just got to move forward and say, okay, we're going to try to be a little better. We're only human.
And how symbolic that Gabby's eyes opened yesterday. Maybe like as ours should.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have to tell you, that was something that suddenly, you know, I'm kind of a space cadet in my own way. But when the president said, and I got permission from Gabby's husband to tell you this, that she opened her eyes, waterworks. I was like, oh. And I just thought, oh my God, stop, come back.
What did that mean to you?
I don't know. I just felt like, oh, thank you.
It means maybe it means that she's, you know, that she's going to have a good recovery. I think that's what we all felt.
Yes.
You know, we're so involved with her now, emotionally, as we should be.
Well, it's and you know. There are people that you sort of come in contact with through passing, as we've met with Gabby passing. There are people you come into contact with and you grow up with them. A gentleman named David Nelson, who was the son of Ozzie and Harriet, which was a show that was on when I was a little kid. He had a brother named Ricky Nelson, who was just, you know, in the 50s, 60s, he was hot. Okay, and David was kind of the straight brother. Well, David passed yesterday at age 74, and again, it's another door sort of closing, and other doors are going to open. So we just wanted to send our heartfelt feelings to his family. Now, when we go, which we always do, you know, we always go, but we come back. We're not like some men.
That's right.
That's right.
Like some men.
Not like some men. We're like bad gas. We're always around.
Could you change that, please?
Yes, I'll change it. In any case, we're going, we're coming back, and when we do, we'll have more hot topics. Wonderful director. We love him. He's here today with his new movie, The Dilemma. And it's about a guy who finds out his best friend's wife is cheating and doesn't know what to do about it. So I'm going to throw this out to you. If you saw your best friend's husband, wife cheating, would you tell the person?
Nope.
Why?
I would not tell her if I thought, okay, this is maybe a one-time thing, because once you tell your friend, then that means they got to do something. They either got to acknowledge it and say, I'm not going to do anything, or do something about it. And sometimes the friend loses out in the end when they got to make a decision.
I would go to the person who was cheating, and I'd say, look, I think I see what's going on here, and you're about to hurt my best friend, and I'm going to kick your ass.
But I think if he goes to his wife and says something, and I think you could still lose out.
You know, this is like that ABC show, What Would You Do?
Yeah.
You know, this is a real What Would You Do? I think you're going to lose either way. If you tell, they hate the messenger. If you don't tell, then you're not really the best friend when they're friends.
They don't want to know that kind of thing.
I think, you know, mind your business. Now, I was starting to think... how would I feel if this were my sister or my child would I feel differently than if it were a friend?
But how would you feel if your best friend never told you? You went through your whole life and your best friend never told you?
If it was a
marriage stage.
So then wait, now you have a best friend who's not telling you the truth and a husband who's lying to you? I think that's the worst case scenario.
You know, there are many times when women say to their husbands, or you know, if you have to do it, just don't tell me. We've heard that.
Because if it's a thing where, you know what, they're not going to do it again,
they're not going to do it again. Bullcorn is what I say to that. They're going to do it again.
You know, you say bullcorn, everything ain't black and white, girl. It just
on this table it is.
It's very...
This table, it is all black and white.
You know what? I don't think that way.
I know you don't, because you don't see color.
I really don't. You know what? That's one of the good things about my upbringing. I don't see color, but you are not commenting on this, Ms. Whoopi.
Well, no, if I saw someone, I would go to the person and say, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but if I saw you, maybe other people saw you too. You might want to just
go to the person, and
say, you may need to curb yourself, because I don't care what you're doing. I just need you to know I can see you.
I would care. I wouldn't be able to be as. I would have to say, like, look, you were about to hurt my best friend. She is. I would have a hard time with it. But see, I wouldn't
know that. I go to Barbara's point, is you don't know whether they have a marriage that has gotten it. But I want them to know that I can see them. So if they. Yes.
What if they say it's none of your business?
Oh. I say, then don't come to my house for dinner.
No, but you don't know this person.
No, that's, you know, I'm saying to you that I know your husband or your wife, and what I saw made me what I think I saw made me uncomfortable. Right. So I'm just letting you know I saw, and I'm just saying, if I saw you, I don't know who else may have seen you.
But would you tell the husband or the wife?
No.
I would tell the person I saw.
But not the husband or the wife.
That's not my job.
Would you want to be told, Barbara, if you were with somebody and your friends, would you want to be told?
If they were absolutely positively sure, I think, yes. I think truth is always, in the long run,
I'm still thinking,
maybe more difficult, but I would want to know. I would want my friend to know. I don't know.
It would depend on how long I'd been married, maybe. Yeah. If I were married 1 year, out.
But if I
were married 12 years, what's the line? 2 years? I don't know. And I think how good my marriage is. Do I have children? Do I have enough money to get divorced?
See, that means I don't need to be telling you.
You should at least know. You should at least want to know so you can use it against him.
Why would I want to use it against him? Maybe I'm happy with him.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this.
You want him.
What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? Yeah. What if you've seen something and you don't know what you've seen?
Sure. You need to be absolutely sure.
You need to know. Now,
that's why you have a camera phone.
If you see them at the next place that you go, the next time you go for dinner, and they're there again, it's like, okay, come on now. And then they're coming to your house 2 days later.
You think I'm stupid.
I would turn into a spy. I honestly would follow them until I had the right answer.
Now, Sherry, one of your favorite TV shows had a huge night last night, like the 4th season premiere of The Game. It aired on BET. And 7.7 million viewers tuned it in. Now, this is a show that was canceled by the CW.
Because it didn't get good ratings.
The network said it didn't get good ratings in its last season. It got 1.5 million viewers, but somehow it turned up on BET due to it was off the air for 2 years. Now, you know, shows that are off the air that long usually don't come back. It was a big Facebook campaign, a big Twitter campaign, social network. The fans went crazy. It did 7.7 million viewers on BET.
Wow.
They put everything they had behind this show. So it begs me to question, when you say it doesn't do well in the ratings, is it because you don't invest in it and you don't care about it? I don't know.
Why do you think they didn't care, though?
I don't know. It was a little frustrating, but they moved it around a lot.
Lots of other shows will the same thing happen.
You know, these major networks, if you put your all behind a show, maybe you can get 7.7 million viewers too. So kudos to BET.
People get motivated.
The Game, you're awesome.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I got a new show coming up called The Snitch. When we come back, Joy is going to be Skyping with us live from Las Vegas. Come back. fabulous Joy Behar is in Vegas getting ready to judge the Miss America pageant this Saturday night. So let's see how she's holding up via Skype. Hello, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
So I have to ask you, have you been playing any of the table games, or they got you running around like a crazy person?
Well, I'm running around. I mean, I'm doing 3 shows. I'm like, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. But I have to say, I win money at the blackjack table.
Nice.
Until Steve shows up. He is the cooler.
Is he the cooler?
He's the cooler. The minute he sits at the table, the whole table starts losing.
You gotta get rid of him.
Okay, we're not playing with him. Okay, next time we're in Vegas, you and I are not playing with Steve. I'm telling you.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Are you, Joy, how are you getting along with the judges, and what kind of judge are you gonna be? Tough? You like the Simon?
Well, no, you know what, Elizabeth? First of all, let me just mention Mark Wills, who I forgot to mention yesterday for some reason. He's a country singer and a big Republican and a gun nut, and I love him. So here I am. We're like the Donnie and Marie without the shiny teeth of the judges.
Funny.
And I said to him, I'm going to mention you tomorrow because I forgot him yesterday. And he got millions of tweets. Oh, my God.
Okay, so you mentioned him. Tell him we said,
It's all
hey.
good now.
Yes.
But, girl, you know, they had the AVN Porno Awards out there in Vegas, which is the Oscars of the porno industry.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Were you there? Can you tell us a little bit about it, or do you know anything? I don't know if you were there, but tell us about it. Any news?
I think that I didn't go there, but I think that I was in the hotel, and I think they thought I was in it because a lot of old guys in trench coats kept coming up to me and saying, I love your work. I heard that Andy Dick got kicked out already. Did you read that?
No, Andy Dick got kicked out.
Andy Dick got kicked out. Now, how bad do you have to be to get kicked out of a porn convention?
But I did point out yesterday, and I will again today, that since you've been in Vegas, your poitrine, shall we say, yes, it's a little lower than it is when you're on the. Look at it.
Work it, Joy.
You know, you've been judging.
Barbara, your lesbian tendencies are coming out.
She really misses you. It's been a week, Joy.
Come
She
back.
has.
Just
Next
come back.
week, I will bring my poitrine back to
There
you,
you go.
Barbara.
But so you've seen the bikini or the bathing suit. You've got the talent. Are they equal? Do you get the same number of points for having the best body as you do for having the best talent? And
No, you don't.
Which is
The
bigger?
talent and the interview get more points than the swimsuit and the outfits. Yeah.
What are some of the more interesting talents that you've seen?
Well, there was a clogger the other day. There's a gymnast. There's piano. They're all very traditional, I think. Nobody's doing. And there was a ventriloquist. That was about the wackiest one.
That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
And she had a puppet, right?
She had 2 puppets.
Oh, shoot, double ventriloquist.
She had
Did
2
they make
puppets. She should take
speeches?
them to the porn convention and get those puppets together.
That's
Maybe
what
that's
I was thinking.
Do they make patriotic speeches? Is that part of the talent?
No, there's a lot of God involved, but not too much about America.
Oh, okay, a lot of
Really?
guys.
These are American girls, you know. They're very good. But you asked me about being a judge. On a scale of 1 to Judge Judy, I'm a 3 because I feel that these girls deserve all my attention and my good feelings because they're trying to get a scholarship.
And they do a lot of good service work.
Well,
They
baby,
want service. They're very nice girls.
we are very happy we got to talk to you again.
Come
much,
back.
much love. Come back quick because Barbara and the whole breast thing is starting to make everybody nervous.
Well, I'll be back on Monday, and I'm going to bring Miss America with me.
You're bringing Miss America with you. Oh, all right. All right, baby.
That's a
Big
great
kisses,
souvenir.
big hugs. We'll see you Monday.
Love you,
And
girl.
Bye, Joy. We miss you.
You can catch Joy during the Miss America pageant on Saturday night at 9 p.m. right here on ABC. We will be right back with the director of The Dilemma, the fabulous Ron Howard.
Okay, superstar director Ron Howard has made dramas and action, blockbusters, historical epics, but he's going back to comedy, and that makes a lot of people very happy with his new film, The Dilemma. You heard us talking a bit about it. This stars Vince Vaughn and Kevin James. Take a look.
Ronnie Shaw Bedlam is hero. I'm your hero. You're the worst. Oh, come on. Every kid wants to dance with his hero. Bring it up here. Let's do it.
People talking, trying to pick us up. Why won't they let us be? Bricks and stones may break my bones, but don't bother me. People talking, trying to pick us up when they know that I love you so. I don't care what people may say.
Go on, baby. Go on.
I've been abused in my heart.
Wow! That looks like a lot of fun. Please welcome back Ron Howard.
Great to see you.
Okay, so you're a film, which is something that a lot of people think about, and you heard us talking about it in Hot Topic. Okay, so just to tell people, The Dilemma tells the story of two best friends who are played by Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, and then the friendship is put to the test when Vince finds out that Kevin's wife is cheating, and then he has to decide, does he tell, does he not tell? You have been married 35 years. That in itself is an amazement.
Well, she's wonderful.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's cheating on you.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Do you want someone to tell you this?
Yeah, absolutely.
You would?
I absolutely would want to know. But you know, the idea for this was born when my partner Brian Grazer, I think you guys all know Brian, was walking down the street one day and saw a woman with shoulder-length red hair and kind of thought that looked like Cheryl, but the guy was a big buff guy, clearly not me, and she was kind of a little hanging on that guy, and he started thinking, oh my God, could this be? And he came around and saw that it wasn't, and he was relieved, and he came back and told me, and we laughed about it. Then he brought it up at a dinner party that we were at, and it was sort of, it ignited the same kind of conversation that you all have.
But you would want to be told.
I would want to be told, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Would you tell?
I really don't know. I mean, I mean, you kind of said it's a sort of a lose-lose situation. You walk into something like that, and you know it's hell. But you know, people think they know, and then it shifts when the particulars of the situation come up, and so we just found that it was one of those situations that if we approached it comedically, still dealing with it honestly, but you know, and the more truthful we were about the behaviors surrounding it, the more comedic it could be.
I'm still impressed that you've been married 35 years.
Me too.
In Hollywood, you are good.
I don't take it for granted. Maybe that's why it's.
Well, it's funny because that obviously became a hot topic, but the film itself became a hot topic when, in the original trailer, Vince Vaughn made the comment, "Electric cars are gay," and then the line was removed from the trailer because people found it offensive. First, do you think people overreacted with that statement?
Well, I was a little surprised by it because you sort of see that used on TV shows and you know especially comedies a lot.
Sure.
So, but I would say yes and no because it was completely out of context that they were evaluating it, and it was a piece of advertising. So it's not like you've made a commitment. I'm going to go see this person's film, and you know, and I'll trust it and go. This was something sort of being thrust upon people. So and it's a very, very serious issue. So those that were raising the point were using popular entertainment to take a position. I think that's incredibly valid and even important, and people should speak up. I agreed with Universal when they removed it.
As an art form, though, did it come out of the film? Because you want to protect what you started to do, I'm sure,
no,
right?
because within the context, the inappropriateness of the statement is both sort of the nature of that character that Vince Vaughn plays, and it's also, it's not lost on anybody within the framework of the scene. So it's part of why it's funny.
Well, that's why things should always be seen in the context in which they are said, so that people know what they're doing. There was a lot of improv.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time with that?
I really did. I really did. People who do it well, I know a little something about your work. People who do it well, it's a joy for me as a director. And I learned early on, Michael Keaton in Night Shift, and for example, but also a movie I did years ago, Cocoon, has this famous scene where Wilford Brimley is fishing, and that whole scene is improvised, and it's dramatic. And you know, this movie is a comedy, it's a full-on comedy, but it also deals with the truth and has some emotional moments. And we found that not only was Vince taking it to new heights. Queen Latifah, who I didn't know was a great improv artist, she could stay right with him. Kevin James, obviously. But it also worked really well on the emotional aspects of the story and some great stuff, especially some things that Jennifer Connelly came up with. Sure. Just on the day that we were filming this very important kind of relationship scene between she and Vince, really it landed in the film, and women who see it really love what she had to say about a relationship, and it all came from her.
How many children do you have?
4.
Okay, one of them has become a very well-known actress, your daughter Dallas Bryce.
Bryce,
Howard.
yeah.
Yeah. Are the other kids acting?
Paige, I have twins, Paige and Jocelyn. Paige is acting. She was in Adventureland. She's done some TV. She made a couple of indies this year and is doing well with her career.
Daddy's proud.
I'm very proud of both of them, mostly because they're doing what they want to do, and they're doing it in a very healthy way, and they like it for the right reasons, which is they don't want to just have a chance to get to be on The View. They want to work. I would. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
But in the
be
work,
scared directing your own kids?
well, here's my only concern. I've told them both. I said, look, I've never ever had an actor roll their eyes at one of my directions. And I'm
can't start.
We can't start, and I'm not so sure it's not ingrained. So, you know.
Yeah.
But you've had, I mean, you're such a talent, both on camera and behind in directing. Where do you feel like you're at your best? And will we see you on screen again?
You know, every once in a while somebody invites me to do something, and I'm always, I would always like to, but then I look at my schedule, and the fact is I love directing films. Yeah. It's what I always dreamed about from the time I was a kid. Thank you.
You've won so many awards directing films. A Cocoon, A Beautiful Mind, Backdraft, The Missing. But yes, and I'm not even naming them all, but you got your first big role on the Andy Griffith Show when you were, and which, by the way, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Congratulations to you. But now, is it true that when you were 6, you got this role because Ronald Reagan said something to you?
Yeah, I was even a little younger than that. I was 5, and I had been in an episode of a show called General Electric Theater, which was an anthology, meaning they told different stories each week, and I did this fantasy from a comic strip called Barnaby and Mr. O'Malley. Burt Lahr was actually the guy who played my fairy godfather. And Ronald Reagan was the host of this show, and I didn't have a credit. I had a good part, but I didn't have a credit. And at the end, he said, just improvised, and a very special thank you to little Ronnie Howard, making one of his first appearances. And that led to the next day me getting the opportunity for the Andy Griffith Show.
And then Happy Days and so much others. Yeah. Well, little Ronnie Howard grew up and is doing very well.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and you can tell that because the dilemma, and you can think yourself, what would I do? Well, the dilemma opens Friday in theaters everywhere, and I'm laughing because we're coming right back with Mike, the situation. I'd like to see you direct in. We'll be right back.
She slowly starts to, you know, pull the dress on. As she's doing that, she's totally getting butt naked.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to mind so much. Last week, Jersey Shore kicked off what promises to be their wildest season ever, and we're getting a look inside the Shore house from one of the show's breakout stars. Please welcome back Mike, the Situation, Sorrentino. I saw the little mini fans.
One of my most fascinating people. You were wonderful.
You know, Barbara really does have this affection for you.
Oh, me and her are tight.
A number. Now that I know he makes $10 million a year, we really are a number.
She likes that. So, okay, Jersey Shore, MTV's highest-rated premiere. Okay, fists were flying, fists were pumping. Clothes were coming off. What's this new girl, Dina? She got naked for you on the first show. What's her deal? Talk a little bit about her. She's Snooki's friend.
I mean, you know what? I can't really blame her for getting naked the first night. And, you know, she's got good taste, I guess. But I really didn't want to, you know, take her up on her offer, only because, I don't know, just that particular season, I really, you know, where my progression is taken, I really wanted to try to, as best I can, even though it's a party show, I really wanted to try to hold myself as best I could, considering, you know, the show, you know.
More jacuzzi.
He's kind of the voice of reason on the show.
Well,
right?
you know, like I said, you know, she's the new girl, and you know, I mean, as soon
What
as.
is it you're trying to be this year?
Outside of trying to
what
I'm trying to say is that, you know, it is a party show. So, you know, you have to hold a certain level of, you know, expectations, you know. I mean, Dancing with the Stars wasn't a party show, so I had to practice my butt off and work my hardest and really show people who I was. You know, now back on Jersey Shore again.
You got to be the situation.
You got it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, you know, we're going to take a look at a sneak peek of tonight's episode. You guys were partying. You were trying to get some action, but Vinny beat you to it. Let's take a look.
Yo, you opening up or you staying in there?
5 minutes.
Mike, come down.
What?
Come down here.
I can't hear you. What? You need to open up. It's sharing is for caring.
Michael.
Vinny locked the door.
So who are you stuck with?
I'm stuck with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now.
Or me.
I'm all right.
Wow.
Rejected by the situation.
Yes. I mean, I'm looking at this clip. You know, you came on and you're a player. Everybody wants to get with you. Have you ever been in a serious relationship?
Yeah, I have. You know, I was in a serious relationship for about three years.
Before?
Yeah, 3 years.
Before this?
Before TV, before modeling, and.
Are you looking for another one now?
You know, I'll be honest with you, I would love to be in a relationship, you know, because to share the experiences and maybe give that life that I would always dream to give somebody, maybe. Or
now you're very rich. I mean, even though you're all of you living in this one house, you're back in New Jersey. I watched. You're back, and this one has this room, this one. You're the one with the last one to come up and find the room. 2 beds, 3 beds. But in reality, you got a lot of money now. Are you $10 million? They say you were in last year.
I mean, those are estimates, obviously.
Okay. Are you concerned that, you know, they may want you for your money?
I mean, when I go out, you know, to appearances, I mean, it's like a mob scene. You know, people are chasing, jumping over security guards. I mean, it's pretty wild. At the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, it is pretty hard to find a significant other. I'm not necessarily. I mean, obviously, there's beautiful women, you know, everywhere. But I mean, at the end of the day, for what reason are they jumping over the?
Yes, well, we may be jumping over the fences because you got something which is really great. You trademarked GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, and you put it on some merchandise. Can you show it to us?
Yeah.
It's right behind you. It's right behind you. Grab.
Yeah, this right here. Oh, she grabbing that. Did you get one? Did you get one?
No, I didn't get one.
GTL.
You got one fascinating. People have got nothing.
GTL laundry bag. And it does 3 things.
So 3 things it does.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, what does it do?
This is it's the official Gym Tan laundry bag, and not only is it economically friendly, but you could technically use it as like a soup bag. Okay.
So when you take it, you can use it as like a
garment bag. You can use a soup bag as well as you can turn it over and go to obviously the laundry. If you're a kid in college, you throw your laundry in here. Okay. Okay. You suit it back up like so, and then you take it to the laundry.
Okay. And you
selling this? You personally are selling this?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
But yeah, and then like I said, you also, like I said, throw this in the washer machine.
Right.
And then
go tanning.
yeah, wash it. Yeah.
Why not?
Love it.
Yeah,
the situation. We're glad that you stopped by, updated your situation with us. Glad you're here, Mike. The Situation, Sorrentino, Jersey Shore airs tonight on MTV. Members of our audience are going home with season 2 on a DVD and a GTL bag just for you.
Hey, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.